What's going on, everybody? I'm Jory Goodman, the Time Teller. So guys, it's no secret, during the summer months it tends to get a little hot, and here in Southern California it gets really hot. So I already made an episode, I think the title was Preparing Your Watches for Summer, and in that episode I spoke about different straps that I like wearing when it gets hot. But ever since I made that field watch episode where my girlfriend and I were hiking around, I think it was like 100 degrees out, I got a ton of questions from you guys asking me about my preferred go-to summer watches, and that's a really good question because there's like large portions of my watch collection that I just refuse to wear when it gets hot. And it's unfortunate because that means I don't wear certain watches for like months at a time. Now I'm gonna explain to you guys why that is. So first, why don't we kind of pull a few watches and I'll talk to you about why I never wear these watches during the summer, and then after I'll share with you guys some of my go-to summer watches. How does that sound? It's 2:59 p.m. Let's get down to business. Alrighty guys, so as you can see, I have a very impressive spread of wristwatches laid out before us today. Some definite similarities between these three watches, but just a quick recap for those of you who've never seen these before. This is my Grand Seiko J14070, this is my Cartier Tank, and this is my ST Dupont Lac de Chine. Okay, so they're all dress watches, they're all vintage watches, they all have leather straps, and I refuse to wear any of these when it's hot out. It's unfortunate because I absolutely love these watches. So why is that? Why do I never wear them during summer? Well, for one thing, sweating on these watches just seems to be a bad idea. I have to be very careful with the lacquered case back on this ST Dupont. Sweating on this is just kind of a no-no. Also, these Grand Seiko J14070s are incredibly vulnerable to any moisture, humidity. The dials just get ruined all the time because the water resistance is just, I don't know, below zero. You can't even cry on this watch without it getting destroyed. And when it gets destroyed, believe me, you will cry. So yeah, definitely no sweating on this watch. Also, these are dress watches, just very dressy dress watches, and they have very dressy leather straps. And for me, leather, when it's hot out, just constrictive, restrictive, just uncomfortable. Maybe I'm just a big baby, I don't know. So yeah, no dressy dress watches when it's hot out. So what do I do when I need to wear a dress watch but it's hot out? Well, I do have two options for kind of summery dress watches that I tend to go for, but you're gonna have to wait a little bit longer to see those. All right, now there is one other watch that I absolutely refuse to wear when it's hot out, and this one might come as a surprise to you guys. It's definitely not a dress watch. That's right, it's a G-Shock. Any G-Shock, really. I hate wearing G-Shocks when it's super hot out because the straps, they just give me heat rashes. I don't know what it is. I wear them loosely, I wear them tightly, it doesn't matter how I wear them. It's just I always tend to get a heat rash when I wear a G-Shock in the heat. I know, total bummer, because these are definite watches that you can wear out hiking around. Maybe I need to get one of those adapters and throw a NATO strap on it, but yeah, no G-Shocks when it gets hot out. Bummer. Alrighty, well here's another equally impressive spread of watches, if I do say so myself, but these are actually my go-to summer watches. So starting here on the left, this is my Hamilton Khaki Field Mechanical 38mm. This is the reissue of the 1940s military hack watch. This is my Certina DS2 Chronolympic. Now this is actually the watch that climbed Mount Everest. Now I'm told that Mount Everest is actually pretty cold, but that speaks to the kind of the durability of this piece. Now this is my Seiko Tuna SBBN 031, just an absolute beast of a watch, and this is my Seiko SSC 081 Solar Chronograph Compass. So what makes these four watches so special for summer? Well, honestly, there's not much to it, guys. I've just found these watches to be incredibly comfortable, they're durable, and I don't have to baby them. So when you look at these field watches, I mean, come on, field watches are very easy to wear no matter what environment you're in, especially when you throw them on some form of NATO strap. Incredibly breathable, durable, you can get them wet, you don't have to baby them. And then when we look at these metal bad boys here, something about bracelets on my wrist, incredibly comfortable when it's hot out. I just like the feeling of some cool metal on your wrists. And again, some very sporty, durable watches here. So just four very easy watches to wear when it's hot out. So I mentioned earlier, I don't like wearing super dressy watches during the summer, but what do you do if you're in a hot environment, but you need to kind of be a little bit more formal? Well, I'm definitely not going to pull from any of these 4 watches because these are not dressy or formal by any stretch of the imagination. So I have 2 really cool kind of summery dress watches that I like to wear. So why don't we clear these watches out of the way? I'll pull my 2 kind of summer dress watches out and we can talk about them. All right, here are my 2 kind of summery go-to dress watches. Now, I know you guys are looking at the bracelets and just screaming, bracelets are for sports watches, you idiot. Well, just hold your horses, okay? These 2 watches just scream elegance, no matter what strap they are wearing. So here's my Sarbo 6.5 Cocktail Time, fitted with a beautiful Milanese mesh bracelet, and here is my Rolex, I almost said Seiko, my Rolex reference number 1500, fitted with its oyster bracelet. Now, I suppose you could make the argument that the Rolex is a bit sporty when it's on its oyster bracelet, but honestly, I think it's formal enough to be considered a dress watch if need be, and when it gets hot out, the need is there, okay? I'm not doing the whole leather dress watch thing when it's as hot as it is right now. I'm sticking with the bracelets. All right, guys, and there you have it, my go-to summer watches. These are the watches I rely on when it gets hot out, but I'd love to hear from you. What are your go-to summer watches? What are the watches you throw on when the sun's out? You don't have to worry about sweating. I'd love to hear from you. Leave me a comment. And I've added some really cool summer watches to the Time Teller shop, so click that link in the description below. Shop around. Really does help the channel out a ton when you do that, so thank you so much for that. And if you're new here, if this is your first time joining us here at the Time Teller channel, I want to say thank you so much for stopping by. Go ahead, click that subscribe button. It takes 1 second. It helps me out a ton. While you're at it, you can go ahead and click that little bell icon so you do not miss an episode of the Time Teller. There's just so much more awesome content on the way, and you don't want to miss it. I'm telling you guys, please like, comment, and subscribe. Share this with other watch enthusiasts, other people that you think would enjoy this. I'm Jory Goodman, the Time Teller, and always remember, I didn't invent time. I just tell it.